Frequently, when confronted with challenging behavior, teachers will react with anger, fear, or negative thoughts. These reactions and thoughts are completely normal, but they can rob you of your agency and your ability to respond effectively. These thoughts affect our interpretation or perception of the situation. In today's pop-up practice, we will discuss four common thought patterns that affect how we interpret and react to challenging student behavior. Let's get started in today's pop-up practice. Research has shown that the human brain is hardwired for negativity. It's estimated that the average person has 42,000 negative thoughts a day. Modifying even a small percentage of our thoughts could have an enormous impact on feelings and behaviors. These negative thoughts appear especially during stressful times, such as dealing with student behavior. Becoming aware of these negative thoughts and training our brain to stop or change them can significantly impact the ways in which we work with students. Today, we will focus on four common types of negative thoughts educators might experience when confronted with challenging student behavior. These are blaming or overgeneralizing, should statements, jumping to conclusions, and exaggerating or catastrophizing. When we have blaming thoughts, we place blame on the students or something else outside of our control for the behavior. We see this event as evidence of a larger pattern. Some examples of blaming thoughts are kids these days have no respect for teachers. Her parents don't teach her any manners, or my principal doesn't discipline these kids. While some of these things may be true, they don't put you in an empowered state to react effectively. They label the behavior as a result of some insurmountable or unsolvable problem that we can't do anything about. The next negative thought pattern is should statements. Examples of the thought pattern of should are when we think things like, he should know better, I shouldn't have to deal with this. Other expressions of this include the words must or ought to. While we want to hold high expectations for our students, when we have negative thoughts of should, it can cause negative feelings such as anger, frustration, and resentment. The fact of the matter is, whether or not a student should do something, they currently are capable of doing it for a variety of reasons. Your work as an educator is to examine the reason why the expected behavior isn't happening and support the student to develop or utilize the necessary skills to meet the expectations. Another negative thought pattern that occurs frequently when dealing with student behavior is jumping to conclusions. This is where you interpret the actions of others as negative or hostile towards you without objective evidence. You might think, he's trying to get me fired, or they're doing this just to make me angry. Now, in some cases, students are being aggressive or hostile towards you, but many times a student might be acting out for a reason completely unrelated to you. This can be particularly challenging when multiple students in a class or throughout the day are acting out. It can be easy to carry over thoughts and emotions from one student's behavior to the next. The last negative thought pattern we will discuss is exaggerating. These are thoughts like, this is the 1,000th time she's done this, or this always happens, or they never listen to me. It's a great tip in general to avoid absolutes when thinking about or talking to an escalated student. This includes words like always, never, every time, and everyone. When used in our own thoughts, they can lead to dead ends where it can be difficult to find a helpful next step outside of consequences and punishment. Secondly, when used in talking to students, these absolutes often further escalate students when they're already upset. When you find yourself using these absolute words, it's a great exercise to bring your focus to finding a time when the behavior defies this thought. When does the student not engage in the behavior, or when do they meet the expectations? This can help you remain objective and fact-based in your assessment. As mentioned at the start of the video, these reactions and thoughts are completely natural, especially in a stressful situation, but they can rob you of your agency and power. It puts you in a victim mindset, and helplessness can set in as a result. As professionals, we have the opportunity and the responsibility to develop the skills and thought processes to view behavior from an impartial and problem-solving perspective. To develop this professional mindset, the first step is to be aware of your negative thought patterns and recognize when they occur in your daily practice. The second step is to challenge those negative thoughts. Ask yourself, is it true? Would everyone think or react the same way to the situation? Am I assuming things? You can also ask yourself the four questions from the pop-up practice on thinking about challenging behaviors. Then, step 3, based on this information, choose how best to respond to help the student learn and grow. So the next time you're confronted with challenging behavior or you're working with an escalated student, be on the lookout for these thought patterns. And remember to be gentle with yourself, as changing your automatic thought patterns and reactions will take time. Much like student behaviors, these patterns develop over time and won't change overnight. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you better support your students when they're having difficulty meeting expectations. And remember, practice makes progress.